Welcome back to Odelia Vlogs. Today I am going to take a subject Environment Science and Human Rights, which is for the 5th semester BBA students. Not only for BBA students, for BCOM, BA, BSc and BCA students. Only a slight difference is there in the module 5. So, environmental issues, why you have to study this. Actually, this was not a subject till 2016. In 2017 only, during the fifth semester, this subject was introduced. Why? Because the environment problems. Everywhere people are throwing here and there. The pollution is there, global warming, ozone layer depletion, and for that, students after BPA or BCA, they should be aware of the environmental issues, and for that reason, for every degree students, wherever be BSc Zoology, BSc Botany, there is a subject in 5th semester for environment, and that subject's name is Environmental Science and Human Rights. So, we can move over to the session. Environment study deals with the analysis of processes in water, air, land, soil, and organisms which lead to pollute or degrade the environment. It helps us for establishing standard for safe, clean and healthy natural ecosystem, and that's why this subject is very important for the degree students to study in 5th semester. So we can start. I will first explain the contents. In module 1, we have a lot of chapters, and now I am focusing on multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies, natural resources. What are the classification of natural resources? Types of resources, only first one I am teaching in this video, forest resources, deforestation, timber extraction. In multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies, we have to study the meaning, importance, scope and need for public awareness. So before I am giving you this meaning and definition and all, I want to introduce you to some terms. We have already studied this in schools, in geography, in science and all, and it might be you might be feel ridiculous that why you are studying here. That's why I told in introduction it is very important to conserve our environment, because we know hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, these all have major impact on the environment. Human activities such as pollution, cutting down of trees, damming rivers have all created significant impacts for environmental health and society. So that's the reason you have to study this with keen interest. First of all, what is environment? We always say what is environment. In our daily life, we always say what is environment. Environment is a sum total of all living and non-living elements and their effects that influence human life. Our environment consists of biosphere. Biosphere, it's a global ecosystem which contains living things which is called biotic and non-living things which are called abiotic factors, from which they derive energy and nutrients. And biosphere is made up of 3 parts: lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere. You all know this, you have studied this in geography, I know very well. Lithosphere is the rigid outer part of the earth which consists of crust and upper mantle where we are living. Okay, now atmosphere. Atmosphere is the air around any location. It's full of air and gas enveloping objects in the space. Okay, now we can study what is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is a combined mass of water found on, under and above the surface of a planet in form of icebergs, glaciers. These are all coming under hydrosphere. Ecology. In your subject, you have an eco tour. We all know you have an eco tour. So, ecology means what? It is the study of organisms and how they interact with the environment around them. Just you have to know these terms, because we are going into the depth level of this subject. So you have to know what is ecology and now what is ecosystem. Ecosystem is a structural and functional unit of ecology where living organisms interact with each other and the surrounding elements. If anything happens in the ecosystem will not exist, and that's why we have to protect the ecosystem, whether it is a forest ecosystem, it's a water ecosystem, desert ecosystem, whatever we have to conserve, because in that ecosystem lot of organisms including human beings are living. Now we can come into our topic, environmental studies. Multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies includes all these things. You have to write everything. So multidisciplinary nature, the name itself suggests that it derives from various sciences. It's an amalgamation of all disciplines of science like mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, geography, computer science, etc., as well as social sciences such as economics, sociology, and psychology. So the environment belongs to all human beings. Each and everybody is affected by environmental issues. So environmental study is very essential. It deals with important issues like safe and clean drinking water, which is essential for us, hygienic living conditions, and clean and fresh air, fertility of land for agriculture, healthy food, and development. Okay, so environmental studies, I think you got a brief introduction. We have to know the importance of environmental studies. Actually, environmental issues are, for the first point is environmental issues being of international importance. Not only in national level or domestic level, it's very important issue internationally, everywhere. Global warming, once it happens, it has a severe impact on the whole global world. As we look around us, the area in which we live, we see that our surroundings, which were originally a natural landscape such as a forest, a river, a mountain, a desert, or a combination of all these elements, but due to our modifications by human beings, that all became into cities. Now we are living in cities, we are getting food supply from surrounding villages, and these in turn depend on the natural landscapes such as forests, grasslands, rivers, seashores. We need resources such as water for agriculture, fuel, wood, fodder, and fish. Thus, our daily lives are linked with our surroundings and inevitably affects them. Next one is problems cropped in the wake of development. Urbanization. What is the impact of urbanization? Deforestation happens, and the impact of deforestation we all suffered by the huge flood in Kerala, in Alua region, Pathanamthitta, in Trivandrum, a lot of people suffered. So climatic changes occurs, soil erosion occurs, landslides occurs. So these are all problems due to the development. Okay, next, explosively increase in pollution because of the huge population. Pollution is there. People are throwing here and there because we don't have enough space. Every space is full of buildings and industries and houses, and where we will dump the waste. So next one is need for an alternative solution. If this happens like this, global warming will be a serious issue within time. So we have to find an alternative solution for this. Now, need to save humanity from extinction. Once the environment is polluted, the ozone layer will be depleted and the toxic rays will fall onto us, and what happens? The humanity, entire human will become extinct. Okay, just like polar bear which is on extinction. Okay, now need for wise planning of development. By environmental studies, we can plan for the development, what and all we can do to protect our mother nature. Mother nature was given by our divine almighty, but we humans, our man-made developments made all these things in the environment. Okay, so we have to protect our environment. Now, the scope of environmental studies, the points are given. Let me just explain. Environment, we have to conserve not merely for the preservation of the rich biological diversity, natural resources, or aesthetic values, but also for survival of the present and future generation. Understood? We all know these natural resources are giving such an aesthetic value to us. We are going here and there to see the nature beauty, and that is giving us some aesthetic feels. But once the environment is polluted, how we will view all these things? How the future generation will view all these things? So we have to protect our environment. Next, our dependence on nature is so great that we can't continue to live without protecting the earth's environment resources. We have to protect the environment resources because we are getting food, fodder and everything from environment, as I told you earlier. Now, if the removal of timber or firewood from a forest is faster than the regrowth and regeneration of trees, what will happen? It cannot replenish the supply. So deforestation will lead to, again, I said earlier, floods in the monsoon and dry rivers once the rains are over. So the scope of environmental studies is to develop an attitude of concern for the environment, to motivate the public to participate in environment protection and environment improvement. Okay. Basic knowledge about environment is to be given to all public so that they can conserve the environment. So the need for public awareness, this is also coming under multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies. This much if you write, you will get 15 marks question. Just elaborate according to the question. Okay. Growing pollution. Because of the growing pollution, I told you, because of the growing population, I told you pollution is there, and noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, whatever. Oh my God, such a pollution, and what happens? Again, ozone layer depletion, global warming, and we can't survive. Not only that, the ACs everywhere, in every house there is AC, in every room centralized AC, in malls and all. And what happens? These are all causing global warming. Agricultural growth. Environmental studies, public should be aware because agricultural growth is essential. We are depending on rice, wheat, vegetables, fruits. These are all from agriculture. Next, need to groundwater. Groundwater is very essential. We all need to drink hygienic water, clean and hygienic water. So the water, once there is a mine head there, the water will be polluted. Okay. Coca-Cola, Plachimura case study, I think you all know. The people there suffered because of this Coca-Cola company, and what happened? The company was shut down in Plachimura. Next is poverty. Once there is pollution, what happens? If the environment is damaged, no food will be available. People will be on utter poverty. Then development and forest. If the forests are, if there is deforestation, what happens? The development, because of the urbanization, the forests are cut and cities are developed, and what happens? There will be no space. How the animals will live? Animals need to live, no? Not only a zoo, they need to rear the animal. They have to live in the forest. Okay. Next is degradation of land. Land will be degraded because landslides will occur once we cut the trees. Soil erosion will occur, and that all have to be given public awareness regarding this. Next, reorientation of institutions. Institutions also should be aware of this impact, and they also should be eco-friendly to the atmosphere. Then evil consequences of urbanization. As I said, because of the urbanization, no space in the city. People are living very tightly packed. Every house is such close contact that no space to put our waste, and that is an evil consequence of urbanization. Again comes air and water pollution. We dump into water, we dump into the environment, or wherever we dump, and what happens? The environment will be polluted. Okay, so biodiversity, our biodiversity will be hampered. So we have to conserve our biodiversity. We have to need a sustainable development program so that our future generation can enjoy all the aesthetic values of our environment. Now we can study natural resources. It's a very lengthy module, so I am focusing on the first natural resource, that is forest resource. We have to study six natural resources. One is forest resource, second one water resource, mineral resource, food resource, energy resource, and land resource. We can study in detail what is a forest resource in this video. Natural resources are classified into two. They are renewable resource and non-renewable resource. What is a natural resource? They are the components of the environment which can be drawn upon for supporting life on the earth. Natural resources are two types, I told you. They are classified. Renewable resources are inexhaustible. They can be replenished over a period of time. For example, sunlight, it's a renewable resource. Wind, water, plants, animals, timber, these are all renewable resources. Next, non-renewable resources, they are very finite in quality and quantity and will be finished soon if we don't use it properly. We have to use it very cautiously. It includes minerals and crude oils. Now, the first type of natural resource is forest resource. We can study its use over exploitation, deforestation, timber extraction, mining, and dams and their effects on forest and tribal people. But here in this video, I have completed till timber extraction only. In the next video, I will show you mining, dams and their effects on forest and tribal people, and the next type of natural resource. Okay. Types of natural resources. The first one, forest resource. Forest resources are all the benefits we derive from forest lands, which includes forest products, that is fruits, soil productivity, water, fisheries, wildlife, recreation, and aesthetic or traditional values of forest lands. Okay. What are the uses of forest? One, they provide timber for house building, shipbuilding, bridges, railway carriages, furniture, etc. They supply firewood and charcoal for fuels in homes and industries. They provide wood pulp for paper and rayon industry. Provide edible fresh fruits. We get honey for food and medicines. Medicinal plants are also available from forest. Provide canes for mats, baskets, chairs, ropes, walking sticks, etc. It provides aesthetic values. Usually we go to visit a forest because we have such a aesthetic value while seeing a forest, because we can see lot of animals, we can enjoy the scenery, the greenery there and all. Now, what is deforestation? Deforestation is simply cutting down the trees. Actually, it's a conversion of forest as an alternative permanent non-forested land use, such as agriculture, urban development or grazing. Okay, deforestation is a conversion of forest into an alternative permanent non-forested land use, such as agriculture, urban development or grazing. Once we cut down the trees, what and all happens? It's very dangerous. What are the causes for deforestation? One is overgrazing. Second one, mining activities, trees for fuel wood, expansion of agribusiness, germ cultivation, that is known as shifting cultivation, that is practiced by burning. Once the cultivation is done, they just burn and then they sow once again in another land. So what happens is that such place will be burnt, and that is again a cause of deforestation. Next is government programs. Some government programs also are the reason for deforestation, because government will have to build houses for the poor, or they will build industries for the job for the people, and also by such programs and all, again dams will be created, and such government programs also cause deforestation. Now, effects of deforestation. What are the effects of deforestation? The first one is threat to biodiversity. I told you why we are going to see the Silent Valley in Palakkad. Why? Because we can see the biodiversity there. We can see, we'll be very happy to see there the aesthetics, what and all we can see there, the scenery, and also it will be a very threat to biodiversity once we cut down the trees. Next, affect the local and tribal people where they will go. Once the trees are cut, where they will go. They are much happy to live in the forest and how they will live in a city. So that is another effect. Next is soil erosion. Soil erosion is a serious matter because once the soil is eroded, what happens is sedimentation occurs during the rainy season. Then expansion of deserts is another effect of deforestation because all place becomes deserts, just like deserts. Then climate changes occur. Why? We know monsoon before was in June 1 when I was in childhood and all. June 1st we would take umbrellas and go to school, but now June 1st is sunlight. That is happening because of this climate changes is happening because of this deforestation. Next is food scarcity in future. Once the deforestation happens, we will suffer for food. We will have to export. We will have to import import food and all from other countries because of this deforestation. But if other countries also are doing the same, we all will have to suffer poverty. Okay. Now we can study what is timber extraction. What is timber? Have you visited FIT at Alva in Kerala? FIT, where I have took my children there from BBS students in 2017, and there the children they could find what and all are happening, the manufacturing, the processing, the logs, the lot of logs are there, and these logs are cut into pieces in different machines, and ultimately we get the furnitures. So timber is a wood used for building houses and making furniture. Extraction of timber is a major intervention in forest stocks and cause disturbance to the flora and fauna. Flora means the plant life, fauna means the animal life. Effects of timber extraction. Because of the timber extraction, again the same case. What are the effects of deforestation? The same itself: soil erosion, sedimentation in irrigation systems, disaster like floods, landslides, climate changes, food scarcity in the future, drying up of perennial water bodies. So if you have any comments or queries, you have to comment in the comment box, and I hope you all understood. If you didn't understand, you can ask me doubts in the comment box. I will explain. And now you study very well. Your exam is on December 21st, so study very well, and we can see in the next video soon. Thank you.